Hey there, it's Jeannie Blaha. They go out with your angels and joyflames.com. Love this question. What is the most beneficial thing I can do while I'm waiting to hear some news? Whether it's regarding a career, whether it's waiting for a phone call from a new love, whether it's waiting for the encounter of that new love, that first meeting, whether you are feeling like you're waiting for an advancement of some kind in your life. You're waiting to see if something is functioning or is serving with as far as children or the community goes, or the bigger world, as far as all of us together. So what is the most beneficial thing we can do? Okay, so let's go over quickly the points of things that are not beneficial. Which you might think, well, I already know that. Do you? Because if a waiting point of any kind is making you stressed, is making you feel anxious, is causing you not to be able to sleep, is making you eat a lot or not eat at all, then you know, wait a minute, this is impacting me in a way that I think I'm being bugged by it. I'm not really in a waiting pattern of just at peace with it. So any kind of that, what we're doing when we start to get anxious about something, we worry about it, we start to fester. Maybe you can't sleep because your mind is spiraling and thinking and putting it in this pace, that pace, and trying to see which one is going to work the best and blah, blah, blah. And you're feeling this tension. Maybe you're not even aware of the tension, and you're suddenly going, yeah, I guess my back has been pretty tight lately, or it's not moving easily, or I don't have as much energy as I normally have. That's a good sign too. Those are all working as counter tensions against whatever you are really desiring. So every time you have a thought of, gosh, I'd really like to hear from that guy or that lady that I just met, because, oh my gosh, we had the most incredible encounter, and I just felt like we were super connected, it was super easy. I even feel like I'm connecting with him in the quantum now, before I sleep or during my day, I can feel him around me, or I can see her around me, I see her in everybody I meet, that kind of thing, okay? That's the quantum type of encounter and living that you're doing. Yay, thumbs up. And then the question is, okay, so what can I do about that so that you are not counter-intending it? Because the counter-intentional thoughts are these. This is never going to happen. We live in different states. We live in different cities. Oh my gosh, how would we ever meet? They're over there in Europe right now, and I'm sitting here in South America. How's this going to ever happen? Blah, 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 all that talk, counter-intention. So as soon as you catch yourself going into that, well, maybe he's married, maybe she has a love, maybe there's something on. You catch it and you move right back into what you do desire. So as you're doing these leaps, you're quantum leaping into imagining your best case scenario, not the worst one, because guess what you get when you do that? Yeah, it's not very fun. If it's not the worst case you usually get, so dready, yucky. So jumping to this desire reality and being very passionate in your feeling about what you do desire. Why does that work so well with this quantum leaping? Because physiologically, neurologically, we are made up of all of these cellular planes of existence in and out of the body, where our imagination is already loaded with intention. Now, if you can put the passion behind it, not that I don't want that to happen, but that I would love that to happen, and you can keep jumping and seeing it for yourself and imagining it and creating it in your mind, a lot of times you're going to find this is effortless. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to get creative. It's already created, right? Because it is. As soon as you have the thought or the intention, it's already created. And then, did you hear that? It is. And so any of you in a waiting pattern right now, you think I'm waiting for this. I've been waiting for this forever. I've been waiting for 10 years. I've been waiting for 20. You're really not waiting. That's the secret behind all of this. So if you can even get to that point of saying, if I'm not waiting, what am I doing? You are either creating for it or you're creating against it. So that's the key substance of it, is to make sure as you're thinking about it and you're intending it and you have this desired reality with all that passion and that wonder and that sense of awe and greatness and like, what will that be like when I wake up with that person in the morning? Oh my gosh. Or how is that going to feel to walk into my ideal business setting where there's a round table and people are coming together and there's not this competition and this mowing people down and all this stuff that has to do with ego. It's non-existent. And everybody is in the slant of, let's keep evolving. Let's see how fast we can evolve this idea, this mission, this dream, etc. Right? So we're doing this in any other area of your life. There's no such thing as like, that's professional and that's personal. It's all intermixed. It's all intermixed. Whatever's happening in your professional, you can bet it's happening in your personal somewhere too, and vice versa. And that's how we know it's all interconnected. So as you're leaping and you're thinking about what it is that you do desire, and you might be bumping into these thoughts on your leap of like, how is that ever gonna happen? That doesn't make sense. I'm just being fanciful. Maybe this is just a fantasy. Maybe I've just gotten really glossed over about what I think is possible for myself. Dump all that stuff off on the way to your desired reality. Make a conscious intention of that. I'm dumping that. I don't need that. That's gonna get in the way. That's totally counter-intending this desired reality here. So as soon as you are creating this reality in your mind, as far as having those thoughts of, I can see it, I can feel it, I can sense it, I'm so excited about it, it already is. What's the next step? It's not waiting, because we're not ever really waiting. We're leaping it back into our now, jumping. And you can yield all of it out here too, to your angels and guides, the universe, whatever you want to call it, creator, source, whatever you want to determine that is. Quantum, just call it quantum. I'm going to yield this to the quantum and allow quantum to get behind me and see how this all comes together. And then jumping, make sure you jump all that back into your now. We really only have the now, but for the sake of our human embodied experience, a lot of times we have to do this trippy thing where we go on a trip and we see it and we go, yeah, that's possible. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, that makes sense. And then we jump it back to the now. And what are we doing? We just bring this closer and closer to the now. These leaps will get shorter and shorter for you. You'll be like, holy cow, I only was quantum leaping in about, 3 days for that? And here it is today. Here it came into being. It already started. You already initiated it, you invoked it, you already started letting it in. And that is the journey of waiting, that we perceive as waiting, is actually letting it in or not letting it in. So the faster that you can let whatever it is that you desire in, the faster it can be. The faster it's going to land in your current reality. The longer that you throw in those other counter intentions of, yeah, but my life has to look like this, and it has to be set up like that, and I have to be ready for this, and I have to be in control. Woo-hoo, watch that one. There's no such thing. Even though we have been often indoctrinated with that idea, you have to have your life under control. What I have noticed, and you have too, is people that are in a position of high control, or they think that they have everything under control, everything is flying around them in a great state of static all the time. There's so much anxiety, or there's so much fear, just plain old fear and doubt and hesitation and stuff flying around the person. You're like, why do I feel kind of edgy around this person that has everything so under control? We don't have it under control. We might get it in sync. We can get it in a flow. We can participate in its direction. But as far as having everything under control, there's no really such thing as this life is change. I mean, the whole universe is made up of change all the time. So what is our effort in it? What is our impact? What is our investment of energy? Don't make it hard work. Do not make it hard work, because it will be hard work for everything that way. Instead, change all that language over to, where am I going to invest my energy? Oh, I might have to invest a lot of energy in that, maybe some years in it. Does it have to be, I sure spent a lot of hard work on that thing? No, especially if you're really passionate about it. You're really desirous of it. Maybe you're going to look back on an experience and say, I get it. I know I had to wait, in quotes, because you're not ever really waiting. I get why I needed 3 years' time to let that person into my life. I get why I had to have 5 years to let in that much abundance. I get why for some reason, I believed that I couldn't have this much bliss for the first 10 years of me starting to set the intention for it. So, waiting, no such thing. You're either letting stuff in or you're not letting them in, and then the key is to watch all of your activity up here. And what's going in your mouth, obviously, too, because we can ingest all kinds of stuff through our mouth that's not really assisting in our empowered impact, amped up way, right? I know a lot of people who they'll say, oh yeah, I eat really cleanly and I'm really taking care of myself this way and that way, and then, but they're smoking pot every day. Now, if you like pot, hey, go for it. There's no judgment here whatsoever. Just be aware that there can be, anytime you're projecting your joy or happiness or peace outside of yourself, if it's not coming from inside of you, you might be getting in your own way. You might be doing a little self-sabotage. You might be holding yourself back from what you are really desiring, whatever frequency state of people you're trying to get connected to, or music, art, whatever it is. Just consider, am I projecting that possibility, that success, that achievement, that reward, that money, that whatever peace, happiness, my inner peace and happiness, am I putting it out on something outside of myself? The waiting sometimes does that to people. People get into that agitated state and they say, well, I feel like nothing's happening, and so then they have to go and they're trying to scramble out here and look for the next thing they have to do about it. That is where we can get in our own way, because it's not about that. It's that intentional force, again, jumping, seeing it, feeling it, yielding it, and allowing in whatever assistance wants to come in to help us to get there as well, and jumping it back to the now. Stay checked in, my friends, stay checked in, because if we check out, we're not going to be here available for what we are desiring. That is another thing you'll notice too. Can't be, you're not here if you're not here. There's no way you can be receiving everything that you're desiring. You're gonna feel like, gosh, my life is so far away from me. True. Much love. Thank you for watching. This is Jeannie Blaha out of takeawalkwithangelsandjoyflames.com. Please feel free to share this video if you are so nudged. All right, bye.